Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters on That podcast. I'm your host, Brian. Today, welcome a special guest out of Ohio. We got our boy, Joey Lawson from the band To Kill a Monster. How you doing today, brother?
Fantastic. How are you?
Not too bad. Actually, we had a little computer problems just trying to get set up in the beginning right here, too. So I think we had to bring out the Geek Squad and Joey here. So,
That's not my forte.
all right, that's all good. But how you been recently? What's new, brother?
Doing good. Had son's birthday party today. He just turned 3. Got a baby girl that's 5 months old. Uh, Music has changed around here for a bit.
Papa Bear. All right, that's good. Congratulations to your son, by the way. So,
Thank you.
all right. He's got two little children right now, or you got a third on the way?
No, we're done. Done. No more.
The magic number seems to be two. I'm going to say that.
Yeah. She wanted a second one, and man, did that second one change everything. Not like the first one didn't, but being a dad has changed music a lot.
That's for sure. All right. I guess what's the band been up to recently? I guess what's your plans for 2025 with the band to kill a monster?
Uh, To Kill a Monster is unfortunately, but fortunately, we're auditioning new members right now. I have our still our drummer and our guitarist, but we're looking for another second guitarist and a drummer so that ours can switch to bass that he's even better on. But we've gone through most of the auditions already. We have a couple more left, and then we'll be able to actually get them up to speed and hit the ground running again. Other than that, it's finish writing everything we've been working on and play some shows.
Hmm. Do you just do strictly vocals, or do you play any other instruments with the group?
I I sing. I play guitar, piano, things like that. I write some of the parts, some of the songs, and then give it to them to do better with. I am a strictly power chord guitarist.
Almost
They
like the Misfits in a way.
they yeah they big fan. Uh, I like writing the bass stuff. Root chords, whatever. Trying to lay some foundation so that they can build upon it a lot easier and quicker than I can.
That's good. I guess so. Who's currently the members of the group? It's just you, and then what? 200 people.
Corey Melton, he's our current drummer, but like I said, he learned the drums to join this band like 5 years ago. But he is a phenomenal bassist, uh, which he is. We're trying to move him to so he can uh, get back to that. And then our guitarist, lead guitarist Scott Borealis, he incredible guitarist. He actually, when he first auditioned for us like 4 years ago, I denied him because he was too good to be in a little punk band. Um, and then not that long after he came back, and I'm glad he did because the last EP we put out is with these guys, and uh, incredible. I'm so thankful for everything they've done to help this band keep going.
That's for sure. But you can elaborate more on music and everything else here too in just a little bit here, Joey. But first off, over to my podcast here, mate. And the way it's going to work is, just ask you some questions to get to know you about, I guess, also the musician, but you can also fill in with everybody else here too. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully no interruptions this time because I know we had a little trouble in the beginning there too. So we'll see what happens. But you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So I guess first of all, what part of Ohio are you hailing from? Are you close to Columbus?
Well, we're near Columbus. They live in Columbus. I live in Marysville, but we've been pretty much just easier to tell everybody we're from Columbus, Ohio.
Obviously, but what to say that one suburb close to Columbus. But all right.
Right.
But I guess we'll start back in the beginning right here too. So I guess have you lived in Columbus your whole life? And I guess how did you become a musician?
Uh, as long as I can remember, I've lived here. I My parents moved here when I was a baby. Um, but I was kind of late to the game to music. They put me on every sport that they could find, anything to keep me busy. Um, and it wasn't until I don't even know, pretty much, I guess, middle school, maybe, when I started to finally dabble in music. Um, we have an acoustic song that's not been released too far, that kind of tells the story about it. But when I was a kid, my mom took me somebody's house that had a grand piano, and I just started playing on it. Never played on anything before, and played the Lion King song, in the jungle. And my mom was just like, What was that?" Like, never touched an instrument, and so yeah, I started messing around on a keyboard for like way too long, and finally started playing with guitar. Probably not until even like after high school. Back then, definitely messed with just, well, singing and stuff. Choir, show choir, and things like that.
So you say your parents were kind of keeping you distracted with sports. Does that mean they weren't really big into music, or I guess were you guys listening to like the radio and that old CD players used to put the CDs in back in?
I grew up on country music. That's all they listened to. I didn't know music existed outside of that. The Judds was like my first cassette. Um, and then I found a random music video that came on like after one of the programs we were watching, whatever it was that got recorded, by Aqua, the band, for the song Candyman. And the visuals were so vibrant and bright and different than anything country, and let alone the song. And I was just like, wow, I need to know more about all of this. And it just went from there. Definitely had a giant stack of CDs by the time I was done finding music to just lose myself in.
Yeah, I'm kind of going on a script right here too. But when
You're
I was
good.
young too, I was normally like just attracted to like six bands. It was like Three Doors Under, Van Halen, Bruce Springsteen, and usually I forget the other ones, but there was Bush. I'll
Nice.
just do those four. But I guess
Gavin
did
Ross
you?
too.
I was gonna say, did you have like a just like some certain groups you just listen to over and over again, not really like branching out?
Yeah, once I found like the first, because it wasn't easy to like go find new music. I mean, I'd go get stuff at Walmart and just find. That's how I found one of my Rise Against CDs in a $5 bin. It was amazing. Um, but yeah, there for a while, just on repeat. The Offspring, Smash Mouth, Chumbawamba, Aqua, uh, Rise Against, just whatever. I think Kiss, Psycho Circus, um, AC/DC, and just kept growing from there.
Yeah, actually, did some friends also kind of introduce you to like other forms of music, kind of like the metal and punk rock?
Um, I want to say, I mean, most likely, but I don't really, I didn't really associate with anybody like when I was learning about all this. Um, I had a few friends that, they definitely were into music, but like, it was just kind of a background thing. It wasn't, we were too busy playing football, hacky sack, whatever, just random stuff. Video games. Uh, Video games were a big source of finding music for sure. I actually miss a lot of new video games like that have like those amazing soundtracks like while you're playing. Seems like it's hard to find games like that these days. Like Tony Hawk. I think it's getting coming back, but like Guitar Hero, things like that. It's a lot easier to find music back then that way. Now it's just everywhere, so it's whatever. But
I was going to say, mine was more of a Burnout Revenge. Did you ever play that one?
I cannot believe you just said that. I was gonna say that, but I was like, nobody knows that game. That is by far one of my favorite games ever created. and it's funny, whether it was Burnout Revenge or Burnout 2 Takedown, one of them, Apocalyptica, was one of the bands on one of those soundtracks. And years down the road, years later, uh, our band gets sent to Rock on the Range, it's now called Sonic Temple here in Columbus, to do interviews for Blank TV, based out of Oregon. And one of the bands I talked to that I interviewed that day was Apocalyptica. And it wasn't until after this was all done, at like, maybe even a month later, like, wasn't until way after these interviews were done that I was like, that I rediscovered that was who that was. And I was so mad at myself that I didn't get to talk about that. I could not believe that I was just interviewed them, had nothing to talk about, like, genuine. And then here they were, one of those bands that I just absolutely got me on this road. So yeah, no, Burnout, fantastic game. I would love to see more of that.
Especially when it used to be you just crashed the cars and you had to see how much of an accident pile
Oh,
you could get out of it to
amazing.
get gold standard.
That was, even though it, like, especially because the bigger crash mode was like a separate, like, a small part of the game, but like that was a great part. We made party games out of that.
Yeah, everyone forgets to just hit the brakes when you're just seeing it happening from a good distance away. So, eh, actually, the one that always struck me was, I think the band was called MXPX. I think that's because we're like
XPX is
lowercase.
amazing. Our drummer, bassist, is a huge fan.
I forget what the song was, but it was on Burnout Revenge, and every time it came, I was like, it feels so good. So yeah,
Racing games are not the same, and it makes me sad because I feel like our music would fit greatly on these games.
yeah. I guess did you try to chase down Apocalypto and be like, wait, I forgot to ask you this question about
Uh,
Burnout? So
I kicked myself for a long time after that one.
it wasn't like the Bruce Springsteen of Pulp Fiction where he was like, fuck, motherfucker. That whole deal.
It still stings. It still stings for sure.
Hey, actually, do you have a video of that? Did you put it on YouTube or anything?
Um, I it's on YouTube. I want to say it's probably called Kill a Monster, Rock on the Range. I don't even remember what year that was. I could find out, actually, but it's with Blank TV, and we just sent them all the footage, so it's just like a grab bag of whatever they did with it. That is what the video turned into. So it's definitely not the whole interview or anything like that, but it is there. I can send you the link after this.
Everything. I was gonna say they cut out the filler or anything that wasn't too dramatic or anything. So
Oh, for sure. I mean, it pretty much just turned into a promo video, because that's pretty much what we were there for, anyways. Talking about Blank TV and helping them out. So yeah.
hey, I mean, even still, it's still an accomplishment. So
Oh no, it
pat,
was awesome. It was great.
pat
Thanks.
yourself on back. So there you go.
It was a fantastic time.
That's for sure. No, I think they gotta get the whole footage. Then we call it the special edition. So
Yeah, it's on here. I have it on the computer, but again, I am not the savant when it comes to all of this stuff. I just sing.
say deep breaths. It's not as hard as you think, but we'll see what happens. So can't wait
Yeah.
to see it too. So all right. So I guess jumping to the band in here, To Kill a Monster. I guess let's start with the origins, and I'm curious about the name afterwards. So what you got?
Uh, it's hard to say anything in too much detail because my memory is terrible. But I started this band in about 2006, um, with a bunch of friends from high school. We and we were pretty much the same lineup for years and years, up until uh, that Rock on the Range thing that we were just talking about. That was like one of the last, like, about the end of where some of the guys split off. Um, but yeah, we started way back then. Did a ton of stuff as much as we could, and here I am still going. Last original member.
Did it initially start with like all friends from like high school? Because I think that's normally how. Because
Yep.
you guys describe yourself as punk rock, right?
Yep. I'm not good at describing because to me it's just punk rock music, whatever. But everybody gets so like crucial with labels and stuff, and it's like I don't know what it is, and it doesn't feel like anything different or crazy or special to me. But then people are like, oh, I don't know what it is. It's a little of everything, and it's like, okay, yeah, maybe, but I can't say that because that sounds posh. It sounds it sounds dumb for me to say it because it's nothing crazy, it's nothing new. We didn't reinvent anything. It's just it's a little everything: punk rock, alternative, bits of metal, bits of hardcore, bits of pirate metal, bits of it's just fun. It's just a fun time. That's all. That's what the live show's supposed to be. So that's what we strive for.
I was trying to remember. Oh shit, who was that one pirate metal group? I can't
Hailstorm,
remember it. Which one?
hailstorm,
I think that was the one, but no, it was some. It was another band. It's gonna drive me crazy. I'll have to look it up later. But
steel.
regardless,
Big fan of pirate metal.
I guess that was just the yo ho, that sort of stuff. Shiver Me
Oh,
Timbers.
yep. Our song "Crack and Swag" is your yo-ho song.
Yeah, I guess. Did you guys keep suffering like through like lineup changes? I guess throughout the band's tenure.
We didn't in the beginning, um, and I should probably look up the actual date of that Warp Tour so I could actually find a reference point here, or not Warp Tour, Sonic Temple, and because we pretty much had the same lineup up until then for years and years and years. There it is. Um, and I didn't know how hard it would be afterwards to 2015. There it is. So up about until 2015, we were the same lineup, and then since then, I've gone through so many different people trying to get back to full strength. Uh, and we'll keep getting there, then we'll lose a member, then we'll have to rebuild again. And right now we're in the rebuilding stage again. But uh, with the two guys that are still here, it's it's a really it's a really strong core to build off of, to the point where we're already trying to get back in the studio regardless of who comes into this. So we have the ability to keep pushing forward, um, and plenty of friends to fill in for different opportunities and things in the meantime. But since 2015, a lot of changes. That has been the hardest part about being in a band that I was spoiled on before, is keeping a lineup together.
Well, I mean, hey, 2006 to like 2015, you got 9 years out of it. So I mean, like it's like
We
still good.
did, thank you. We did good.
Yeah, but I guess jumping ahead and kind of the questions here too. I guess has that been your main challenge? Or I guess what other challenges do you feel like you face these days as a musician?
These days is everything is harder to be in a band. Um, well, we could talk all night about that. With the way the world has changed since, I mean, 2006. Like, we're talking CDs, going to Walmart to buy your music, to LimeWire, to uh, MySpace. MySpace was amazing for being in a band. We did all, we had so many amazing connections, and everything we did through that. Um, and then all of a sudden goes away. And Facebook comes along, and Twitter, and then TikTok comes along. Like, the internet is definitely a struggle. Some people are really good at it. Some people easily make uh, a new they make it work. Me being a little bit of a older soul, it not good at the internet, not good at keeping up with TikTok, with content. Being a content creator, that's not the same. And there's so many new tools and everything to use to be in a band, but it's it's a lot harder. If you can hear all that, that's my son in the hallway. I don't know how much is coming through.
I was saying, you were looking to give the eyes look. I thought I was like, oh, he's thinking. Oh, wait, somebody's in the room. So,
No, he's playing trucks in the hallway.
hmm.
Yeah. Keeping a band together is hard. Uh, being in a band is hard these days, just with everything, especially with the way the internet is. You can do everything you need to do from home. You don't need to go play shows. You don't need to go tour. Touring's, not monetarily successful. Obviously, you can totally make it that way, and that's the goal. But we love playing shows. We love being in front of people. It's the live show, the energy, the fans. Like that's what we want, and it's came in waves, up and down for sure with the times.
You mentioned about, what was it, a Warped Tour earlier?
Yeah.
I guess, did you guys just sticking around Columbus and parts of Ohio, or have you gone to like other parts of the states?
We try to get out as much as possible, get out as far as possible. We I'm super thankful. We were fortunate to play Vans Warped Tour when it was its glory. In, I want to say, yeah, that would be 2013 and 2015. And then we've gone. We pretty much stick to the East Coast. So we played, Indiana, Illinois, Missouri, Tennessee, just surrounding states, everything like that, weekend warrior type, everything we can get. Cornerstone Festival, anything and everything we can do. We definitely try not to stick to just Columbus, but it's a lot harder to get out there than it used to be.
That's for sure. I think COVID had something to do with it, but we'll get into that in just a sec. But
Yeah.
I guess, was it your idea for the band name To Kill a Monster, as well as the logo?
So the logo, definitely more of a hand. I have more of a hand in that now. But originally, when we first started, we were called Last Night in Town, and this would, this is 2006, 2007, whatever, super early on. We didn't really have any music out yet. We're trying to figure things out. We start putting stuff out, and some band from California tries to sue us because that's their band name. Long story short, you can't do that. But we had already been through a couple like extra guitarists and things and changed stuff around. So we're like, whatever. Let's rebrand here. Let's actually have something we like. And also, I don't have time for drama. I don't have time to care about stuff like that. So, To Kill a Monster was the only band name, because basically we all thought of every name we could, put them in a hat, whatever, put them in a list. To Kill a Monster was the only band name that all of us said yes to. Every other name, somebody was against, whatever. And then the only other band name that had the next most votes was Bears Fight Bears, and that became our first EP.
Actually, I was going to think I Wrestled a Bear once or something like that, but most of that one was taken. So
that one was taken a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, at least it worked too. I was gonna say this is almost like a democratic process happening right here too. So, hey.
Yeah, we wanted to find something that we all like, and it fit the sound a little better. I think years later, the name has probably worked against us in a way, because especially when metalcore, crabcore, everything kind of blew up. We played a lot of shows with bands way heavier than us, but that's okay.
And then here's Joey and To Kill a Monster. So
that's right.
Hey, whatever you gotta do. So good job on you, mate. So I guess we're going to jump into COVID right here too.
Sure.
So it seemed like you were kind of going through some lineup changes after 2015, 2016 right there. But I guess did COVID kind of put To Kill a Monster on a halt, for instance? And then what'd you have to do afterwards, and how bad was it for you guys?
COVID sucked. Um, big halt. Just to the ground, breaks to the floor, just full stop. I want to say like right before that, we had just kind of got our lineup solidified. We were kind of getting momentum going, and then COVID hits, and you know everybody stops, everything stops. But a lot of everybody treated it differently. But for me personally, it is a bad time. That sucked. I'm a server too, so restaurants, everything. Like my job got stopped, my band got stopped. I'm just sitting at home, like I don't know what to do. And looking back, had I known that everything would kind of work out and continue and whatever, maybe I would have written an album or something. But no, no, just lots of depression and dread and video games and drinking and not sure of what to do. Like I didn't know what was going to happen next. I didn't know if we'd be able to continue. I didn't know how to continue. It was a bad time, but the band was still, we were hanging out. It's funny. I look back on COVID, especially, and including things like TikTok, because back with the original lineup, we all lived in a house together. Rent was dirt cheap. Just a crazy, insane time all the time. And had COVID hit then, and TikTok been a thing, and like all this other stuff, I would have done nothing but like skyrocket our momentum. Like the amount of stuff that we would have filmed, that we would have done, that we would have partied, that we would have it would have been an amazing time because everybody's stuck at home. Well, we all live together anyway. Um, and I think about that a lot because it would have been so drastically different just a couple years apart. Like, but then everybody's at home. My wife and I had just bought a house, uh, which was good. Market kind of is a mess now, but I'm glad we bought what we did. But it just, yeah, I didn't know what was going to happen, so it was terrifying to be in a not financially successful band without a job, without like it was hard.
Guess you have a good family and friends kind of helped you through it.
Yeah, I mean, much, there wasn't much need to help. Like we had everything under control as far as, bills and everything, whatever. But like, I had no idea what the future was going to look like.
Uncertainty kills. So yeah, I can understand why. So
Things are good now.
yeah, that's true. I was gonna say, do you still work as a server now, or do you
I
do a different
do.
job now?
I unfortunately do. It gives me the time to do music, and that's the biggest thing is I need, playing shows on the weekend, playing things at the drop of a hat, which hopefully, doesn't happen often, but every now and then we'd have, you know, something pop up that was potentially a good opportunity. So, take care of things, do little weekend warrior tours and things like that. Having a job that I can step away from and come back to whenever I want is super helpful. Not good for the wallet, but that's okay.
What kind of restaurant is it? Is it one of those chain
Uh,
restaurants, or is it local?
Texas Roadhouse currently. Uh, I've worked at Red Robin, Applebee's, Buffalo Wild Wings. Not in that order, but
At some point in your life, I worked at one of those restaurants. So
mhm.
yeah, actually, I work as like I say jack of all trades because I already do the waiting, but I do the sometimes the dish cleaning, the cooking, that sort of stuff here too. Because mine's a local family joint, so it's my second job that pays for the bills, as I like to
It's
say.
probably different, a little bit different with the family business. It'd be better. Dish tank, I not my favorite. Hated helping out on that when I had to back at Applebee's question mark. But yeah, that's not a fan of dish tank. more power to everybody that works dish tang because it's just chaos.
Well, I was thinking they would have like the big dishwashers because I mean those things clean in like 30 seconds. So did they not have it at the time?
No, that part, no, they did, but that thing breaks like that place. It broke all the time, and people would just, people restaurants they just bring you plates on plates on plates on everything, and it's just a giant mess all the time. Soaked by the time you get out of work. Yeah, not for me.
So I was like, oh, you gotta be quicker than that. So yeah,
Yeah,
that idea. Okay. But in all seriousness, were you and your family okay? Did you get real sick with COVID?
I dodged COVID until after everything. Um, Thankfully, nobody close to us had too much problems. However, when I finally did get COVID, it was terrible. That is by far the sickest I've ever been. It was awful, 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 awful. Uh, as a singer, I don't know if it's every singer because they don't whatever, but like I have dealt with strep throat and just sickness every 2 weeks, every month, every whatever, like all the time over the years. Not every 2 weeks, 'cause it's terrible. But my friends would like they stopped caring. Like, oh, you're always sick. You're always sick. And you eventually get tired of hearing you're always sick. Yeah, I know I'm always sick, but it doesn't. I'm not having a good time here. It doesn't help me. Um, uh, I say actually, our drummer he's getting his tonsils taken out soon, but I still have mine. And a lot of debate on if I would get sick less if I get rid of those, but that's a whole other story and whole other journey. But yeah, COVID hit me really hard, and then after it did, I couldn't sing. It destroyed my range. We play, I had some friends help fill in for some shows and stuff and sing with me because I was just singing bass notes, just super low octaves, and it took a while for me to get it back. I remember we played a show and I thought I had everything under control, but then nope, is one of the worst sets I've ever played. I could not hit anything, and I couldn't. It was out of my control, and that's a sucky feeling. Being a guitarist and losing like your forefinger or something. Like I don't know, just it's bad times.
Yeah, that's for sure. Actually, do you try to hit like acapellas, or are you just more like just a certain range, not like the Rob Halford that sort of deal?
Uh, I try to do as much as I can. Um, I which is, I mean, it definitely leads to Kill a Monster's sound. Um, is my vocals, my range, my whatever you want to call it, my uh my style, whatever you want to call it. Um, but it's hard to find. Not every song can have that. But we definitely put fun stuff in when we can. Just like throwing a breakdown in when we can. Things like that. Always about having fun. I am definitely a what's the word I want? Like I said,
Easy
I,
going.
I did choir. Like I sing, not just scream. Well, I can't scream. The guitar screams, but you get what? Yeah,
Oh, we could scream, but then we probably wouldn't fit with the music. But to each his own
yeah.
too. So, all right. But in all seriousness, good to see you and the family are doing well there. And it's good to see you pull
Thank you.
through with your depression and everything. So,
Thank you. Yes,
all right.
COVID
All right.
sucked.
Yeah. Actually, I was kind of the same way. I got mine because me and my family were bar hopping on Broadway. It was like 2022.
Mhm.
It was actually a week before Halloween. So it was fun, but came back. It hit like a brick wall, for instance.
Yes.
So I can relate. So I sympathize. So
It yeah. And then you'd have people telling you like, "Oh, I had COVID, it wasn't no bad." And it's like, "Well, I'm happy for you, bud, 'cause it sucked. I don't wish it on anybody."
that's for sure. So it seems like this norovirus, which apparently says like it expunges all the stuff out of his stomach, for instance, or two. It almost sounds like it'd be probably a way to lose weight, but it probably sounds horrible. So
Yeah. Hard pass if I can avoid it. That'd be great. Thankfully, like most of the sickness over the years is always, like strep throat, things like that. Uh, After our son was born, we had uh, one thing come through with a stomach bug, and man, I can't even remember the last time I was sick like that. And I was like, man, I don't want this again. This you keep that to yourself. I don't want it.
actually, mine was because of McDonald's breakfast, so I refused to eat that ever again.
Well, no, probably not. That's me for burnt popcorn. Never again.
Never again. So yeah. All right. So I know we were talking about the vocal ranges earlier. So I guess in terms of influences, I guess who really influenced your vocal style?
My vocal style was for sure uh, thanks to Eve Six. Absolutely loved them when I was growing up, figuring this stuff out. The Offspring, Rise Against, Story of the Year, um, Smash Mouth, their first album. I love telling this story. It's not really a story, but I love talking about it because everybody thinks Smash Mouth. They think, All Star, uh, whatever. And but Smash Mouth's first album, Fushu Mang, is incredible. It's just a fun, awesome time, and it's not anything like All Star. So that's one of my favorite albums, for sure. Um, but Eve Six had a huge influence uh, on me, especially lyrically. Um, but then just anything along those lines, or any along those times, definitely help. I mean, I grew up on country, so my vocals are definitely based and rooted in that, whether I like it or not. Um, and I do like some country songs, but uh, the Offspring, Eve Six, Tenacious D, uh, for sure.
I'll say you're not trying any of the crazy stuff like Pick a Destiny. What you hear with Tenacious D, do you?
Oh, it's for sure. It's amazing. Big Destiny came out afterwards. Their first album, the acoustic album, um, was it just called Tribute? Or I don't remember what it was called right now. But yeah, his range and everything he was doing on the, everything's a joke, whatever. But he's a incredible singer. And I heard that stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Growing up on AC/DC and Metallica and stuff like that, I was like, I can't really hit those like that. I don't think that's quite for me, but these are sweet. But yeah.
Yeah, anytime I hear All Star or I'm a Believer by the Smash Mouth version, it always makes me sad, especially now that Steve. Is it always Hardwell or Harwell?
I don't know.
One of the two last names, but Steve, he had tragically passed. You know what? I think his, at least from what I just read on Wikipedia, it seemed like he had lost his son at a young age, and I think that really impacted him to drink heavily.
Yeah, that'll probably do it.
Yeah. So, hey, rest in peace. He brought some great music there too. So, actually, which one did have the Walking on the Sun? Was that the name of the album there too, or is that something else?
That was the song on Fushu Mang, and that was like potentially what led them towards the more radio friendly style, whatever you want to call it. Uh, yeah, led them away from the fun ska ish punk.
A little post punk, if we want to say. So,
Yeah.
right. And actually, which Tenacious D album had the song "Fuck Her Gently"?
I can't remember right now. I don't know if I want to say that was the first one.
Actually, the reason I brought it up here too was sometimes on YouTube you get these people who will take like the SpongeBob episode or Ed, Ed and Eddie or whatever, and then I'll just edit like certain parts into it just to make it sound funny, or throw in some cuss words here and there too. I think it was the pizza delivery one, and after they back the car up like so many miles, Scourge is out of the car, gets out of the car. It's like, hey, you know what else? And it just plays that Tenacious D song, "I'm gonna fuck you." So it just comes out of nowhere, but it's like, what the fuck was that?
So that's they're a good band for that sentence.
Yeah, among other things they do, but yeah, I love Jack Black. Jack Black.
Big fan.
I forget what our song was there too, but I think it was an Instagram one. I think he was seeing a video of a guy doing like a cover of his song. He was actually singing the lyrics. It's like, one last trip down to Waterloo or something. And you just see him like kind of turn his head. He's like, he just slowly keeps digging it more and more there too. Till he starts like, he brings up the phone and he just starts mouthing off the lyrics about it too. So, yeah.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
And I just looked it up. It was the first album, Tenacious D.
It's a weird one, the two, because it has like the devil on it as well. So, yeah. So I know you say you're not the most tech savvy sort of guy, but I guess, do you guys go to a professional studio to record your music, or I guess what gear do you use?
A little all over the place. And I was dreading this question because I have no clue on our gear. I am a big fan of Orange. But as the singer, I have a Beta 58A, and that's the extent of my gear. Um, but I'm a big fan of Les Paul. I have an off-brand Rondo Music Les Paul that I love. That I've written all my stuff on. But as far as like studio and stuff goes, our good, Scott and Corey, they're much better at that. James, our previous guitarist, who he had a ton to do with our last EP that we put out. He tracked everything at home, all the guitars and everything, and then we'd send them to the studio that we'd go to finish everything, do the drums, vocals at the studio. Over the years, we've been a bunch of different studios, but Bears by Bears we did in Chin Music Studios, Standby Records. After that, we shopped around trying to find the right place for us because, again, with being a not to me weird band, but a weird band because everybody else is, metalcore, heavier, lighter. Like somehow we're in the middle of everything. Finding the right people was always important, and we got a random email one day to go check out the studio. Like, hey, we'll give you a deal, come out and try our studio. It ends up being in the middle of nowhere, like an hour away from here, like not that far away, just in the middle of nowhere, some dude's house. And we go try out this studio for our song 8-Bit Heroes is the one we did for what turned into we loved the experience so much and loved the end product that we went back and recorded our album, This One's For You. And it was just some dude who, and I still talk to him. He's amazing. Unfortunately, he moved to Illinois, so it's a lot harder to record with him now. Or as we still would. I absolutely would still go there if we could. But yeah, and yeah. So, right now we everything we just did was at Black Moon Recordings here in Columbus, Ohio, and then where we're doing our next little bit that we're preparing for.
Yes, how's Columbus been like since COVID? Kind of like they started lifting COVID restrictions or everything there too. Is it still a lot more metalcore, or do you have like a nice blend of metal?
I think there's a lot bigger range of stuff. Obviously there's, I don't even know if I can call it metalcore, but like there's a lot of heavier bands. Especially with Columbus being what it was, Alvarosa Villa, there was definitely a certain style or range or whatever, heaviness that would always come through. at least to find bands like that. I mean, there's so many bars and venues and everything. You can find something for anybody anywhere. But um, after COVID, after COVID, it was great. Everybody, was itching to get out of their house. It was a great time to, have some shows to be supported because everybody wanted an excuse to go party. Um, but like nowadays, it definitely feels like it's slower. It definitely feels like, not that it's that much harder, but it's a little different. I don't know. It's definitely still good. I mean, even on the weekend, Warrior type tours that we would do, it Columbus has a great scene, a great amount of people that do support local music. It's just unfortunate that the internet is what the internet is, and it's hard to like put it all into one place to find it all.
Yeah, I can understand why. And actually, is there a lot more like the cover and tribute bands? Because I don't
Oh
quite
yeah,
know that too. So I guess you see a lot of those on
yeah.
Weekend
Every
Warriors.
every bar, every place like that, there's a ton of cover bands that you know, that's how bands can make money. Original music is much harder to convince people to come out in force. But a lot of people would just go to their favorite place and listen to whatever is being played by a cover band, whoever. Um, and that's especially, it feels like a lot of bands can succeed. Like, if not that bands can succeed, it feels like there are a lot more particular cover bands. Like that are doing something specific. Like emo nights, things like that. Um, where you could actually brand it that way, and they do great. We have some friends doing that, and they're doing awesome.
Especially the emo night you made it sound like it's My Chemical Romance or something like that coming out. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just My Chemical Romance, Linkin Park, Paramore, just everything. MTV.
yeah, we had the old MTV days back, or especially when they started doing the Jackass. Did you ever get to like the Jackass and
Oh,
Wild Boys and all that stuff?
for sure, for sure. Uh, like I said, we all lived in a house together. It was not a tame time.
I was gonna say, did you baseball in a house where you knock that baseball and just goes crashing out the window?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, you were
Anything and
dirty
everything
boys. Yeah.
is fun time. I could only imagine the what our TikTok channel would have looked like back then.
I think most people seem like aim for like the funny stuff because I see like some walkthroughs now where like people are playing like on these PC games like Escape the Backrooms or something. It's like these two guys are like best friends, but they're just like they're easily freaked out by anything that's like chasing them, for instance. So they're
Uh,
screaming like a little girl and all that stuff.
the guys very much want me to start doing that because I do not play scary, spooky anything because I will lose my mind. So that's on the list. They want me to do it, and I just refuse. I cannot cannot stand that stuff.
Actually,
I
the one I
will.
saw, I was gonna say the one I saw recently, it was called Unknown Tapes. It actually has a nice little dinosaur sort of theme to it there too. So it's a bit hard to explain, but it's basically dinosaur themed. You gotta watch out for them Spinosaurus, T Rex, and Velociraptors.
Dinosaurs are awesome. They're a big fan in this house with the kid, but
I don't
not
know
the
about
spooky
scary
stuff.
movie, about the spooky
No,
stuff.
not doing spooky stuff as long as I can with him.
And I will say I'll leave it to you there too. I'm just picturing it right now. You just see something. It's like just you like, that whole deal. They scream like a little girl.
Yeah, I will.
All right,
100%.
I'll leave it up to you. But if you get into it, good luck. So,
We'll see. Time will tell.
okay. But jump into lyrics. Are you the main songwriter, or does everyone kind of pitch in?
Most every lyric throughout our catalog is me. Back in the day, a couple of the guys would help write a couple things, and then I would take them and change them, move them around. Put them in a way I liked them that was more my style and everything. and yeah, everything for everything else is through me.
I guess what do you like to write about? You like to talk about some personal things, or is it just whatever comes to
Anything and
mind?
everything. Personal stuff's always that's always going to happen. Um, Probably a lot of my country background and everything. Like I like storytelling, um, and especially with kind of how weird of a band we are. Uh, any topics on the table, if I'm in the mood for it. Um, when I talk about like our different type of songs, 8-Bit Heroes, the single we went and did with that new studio, that's written about a Dragon Quest game. Played through it, loved it, couldn't stop thinking about it, and all the lyrics are all about that game. But it's I love taking a topic and writing about it in a way that is hopefully all encompassing to anybody that listens to it. Whether they get what it's about or not, they can find something in it to relate to or whatever. Um, when I talk about our pirate song, we went and played Cornerstone, and um, of course I can't think of the band name now, but every time apparently they'd play this festival, their fans, the fans of the festival, would find out the theme, and that week was Shark Week. So everybody, and every time they play this festival, they'd find out the theme, and they'd make things out of cardboard they'd find around the festival for that. So that week was Shark Week, and it was a giant. They're a punk band, but everything was shark and pirate and like all this stuff, and it was such a surreal moment of just amazing time. Uh, with these shark fins going through the mosh pit or the circle pit. So it was, after that, I had to write a pirate song. So I did, and I love taking anything. Another when you talk about personal things, I'm not I'm not good at talking. I'm terrible with words. My memory is awful. But I'm not good at talking about loss. Death, everything like that. It sucks losing somebody. It's hard. And I'm not good at talking about it. But I write about it all the time. Like there's tons of references in a lot of our music. Um, our song Confetti, I wrote about since I couldn't talk about it, or I had a hard time talking about it. I tried to write about how I would feel if I died, and I tried to write about it in a way that was, hopefully people would feel that way. The whole song's about having a party the whole time. The whole song's about remembering the good times instead of the bad. Things like that. But then there's other songs with a ton of references to life and death and love and breakup and all that stuff. But lots of fun. We have another song about Futurama. Like everything's on the table.
Actually, the way you're kind of describing confetti. Did you used to watch Hey Arnold?
Yeah, not much that I can remember, but yeah.
There was actually one where it looked like Helga had been like erased from existence or something. She was kind of dreaming. She was dreaming, but she basically was seeing like how everyone was just celebrating that she's no longer in their lives. So it seemed like she had
Got
to.
it.
It was meant to be something to be a better person, so to speak. So it was kind of like
Yes,
along those lines too.
confetti is not necessarily about being a better person so much as just having a good time, but like not in a bad way or anything like that. Just you know, let's say I think one of the lines is I can't even think like that. Just about mourning and celebration instead of mourning and sadness, that kind of thing.
In memory of Joey Lawson, frontman
Right.
of To Kill a Monster. Wait,
Right.
he's right here. Oh my God, here's a zombie. This must be that other place.
We also have a zombie song.
There's that one. All right, that's cool. Actually, the ones I always thought were cool was when they put like a lyric normally like leads into a breakdown, for instance, or two. Is there like a lyric that kind of stood out to you the most? Be like, oh, that's so good. Just the music itself came around. Does one come to mind, or is that
Like a specific lyric that I had to build off of, or what do you mean?
I guess I don't know if you know about Suicide Silence, but one of the things that was always super cool was from Bludgeon to Death. It was like, and doctors won't be able to recognize your face, and then it just went into like a heavy breakdown, something like that.
Gotcha. Um, I'm sure there's one, but I'm completely spacing on something specific. Um, I'd say the only thing the main thing I can even compare it to, I guess, right now, because I assume you're talking about like having like a clip of like a show or something like that. Is that what you mean?
Along those lines, yeah.
Yeah. We haven't done anything like that, I don't think. Uh, Aside from like maybe the Futurama song, I can't remember if there's like a specific reference that gets sang right before like a breakdown or whatever. But um, the main thing I can think of is our song "Growing Up," and it's uh, "Never grow up if it means giving up," and then it goes into a heavy part breakdown, whatever you want to call it.
Everyone go fucking nuts. So yeah,
Yeah, basically.
basically, yeah. All right, fair enough. And actually, I was already back there too. I was giving you more of the clean version from the Suicide Silence because they threw in and doctors won't be able to recognize your fucking face. That whole deal.
We try to keep it PG.
PG rated. So yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we're not saying
Adult themes.
I mean, I know you said Lion King earlier. I mean, is it that PG one where they're just subtly trying to poke along with the violence? Something along those lines.
Definitely violence. Yeah, adult themes definitely there. Just yeah,
The adults will get it. They'll tell their kids later in life.
that's right.
So, all right. So I know you say you're not very tech savvy, but I guess do you throw maybe a hand in every now and again with the social media?
Yeah, it's unfortunately mainly through me. Facebook, Instagram, say YouTube and TikTok. Like we have everything. It's just I can't keep up with everything. I have bad manager. I can connect everything and do a post that goes out to everything, but it just feels so not. It just feels so ungenuine. Like I hate it. So I put stuff on Instagram when I feel like it, Facebook when I feel like it. Um, as far as social media goes, it, it it's going to be a weird time this year for me personally, um, just because last year we went hard into doing everything we could to try to succeed in any way, shape, or form we could, and pretty much burn out trying to do it. To where that's why some of the guys kind of left, because it's hard to do this for real. um, so now with trying to find the new guys and stuff this year, no matter whether we find people or not, like just kind of doing it for fun this year, and less emphasis on like this is how to do it. We have to post this many times, like we have to have this many numbers, and it's like no, let's just okay. I can't. We're just gonna see what happens. And we took a small break because I had the baby girl on the way, and our drummer has a son that he had last year? Question mark. Yes, I can't think straight right now. Um, so it's definitely kind of just going to be all over the place this year, and I think it's going to be a good thing, especially for my own mental health, and just have fun again. That's going to be the goal this year.
Yeah. Actually, that was my question. Like, what do you think of social media? But I think
Oh, I
you got
hate it.
into that. So
MySpace was amazing. I cannot emphasize enough how awesome MySpace was for bands, for finding music, for connecting with people, all of that stuff. And now TikTok is TikTok if you can do the videos, but like social media, I don't even know where to begin anymore. Facebook is what it's became, and Twitter became X. It's just I can't keep up. I don't care. I have to care. Like if it wasn't for the band, I don't think I would have any of it. And that's a sucky thought. Like it's all just so weird and dumb. It'd
Yeah,
be
that's for
easier
sure.
if every local band ever could just like post like their video on some site that ranks everything. And I don't even know, it'd probably be worse somehow, but like I just wish there was a way to like, hey, here's our band. Are we good enough? Okay, bye. Like just make it easy somehow. Streamline it. Just there's so much music in the world now. It's a great time. Like it's a great time for fans. You can find anything, but like at the same time there's so much. Like how do you find anything? It sucks. I hate it. MTV was great. Like you just here's the music that you should like. Go, you know, there's rap, there's pop, there's rock, you know. Here's it all. Enjoy. It's like, okay, yeah, I like this. This is easy. I can follow this. Cool.
I guess why did they get rid of MySpace? Was it just kind of
I
losing
don't
popularity?
I don't I want to say he like sold it or something. I don't remember. Somebody's got the answer. It just
Somebody.
it fell to the wayside. I know they changed it at some point, and I don't know.
Yep.
Baseball. Also, how I feel about social media is garbage. We got our Facebook hacked last year, right in the middle of releasing our EP, and right in the middle of doing everything we were doing last year. One of the many things that fell on its face last year through this journey we had. And Facebook is complete garbage and doesn't care at all. Like, there's no way. You can't talk to anybody to fix it. Like, it's awesome, so cool. Sarcasm. Uh, so yeah, we got hacked and stolen by. They turned the page into hydrogen water bottle. So we made a hydrogen water bottle monster shirt, and it just tried to make the best out of the joke we could, but it stung. Like in the especially with social media, we on MySpace we had like 10,000, uh, 20,000, and then Facebook comes along and it goes, you know, we have 5,000, and then now new page we have 1,000, and every year it feels like there's a new number that signifies whether your band is good or not. Um, and I can't keep up with it, especially when things like getting your page stolen happen and there's nothing you can do about it. Um, you know, one of the big numbers I hear a lot is your Spotify monthly listeners, and our numbers are trash. We had a whole thing happen in the past where we when we did this one's for you, we released this one's for you. Had a dispute happen with the studio. Um, had to pull it down. They released it under their name, like whatever. So all the numbers were there for like YouTube. You know, YouTube. I don't think YouTube, but like all the digital numbers, Spotify streaming, all that, iTunes, whatever. And then you know, a couple years pass, and they give up basically, and then they take it. They told me they took it down. Like they didn't even warn me. I was like, okay, cool. So then I have to re-put up this one's for you. Like if you look at our dates on things, everything's so like I think this one's for you or Bears Fight Bears like 2010 maybe, and then huge gap before we release any other music because as far as it's all concerned, it all happened 2017 or something. I don't know. Like so the whole timeline is screwed up as far as the internet's concerned.
Convoluted. Probably more the
Yep.
correct term, but whatever.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah. Dude, it must have sucked when they got hacked there too. And actually, that explains the whole pirating deal. When you think about it, they pirated your page.
Yeah, they did. Fact.
Yo ho, motherfucker. So, hey, actually, ahoy. That's what we had to say. So, fair enough. And,
That's the word.
oh, yeah.
Yo ho ho.
Actually, do you guys have a similar opinion with AI? Or I don't know if you guys used it for the logo or anything for music wise.
Nope. Everything we've done is through friends, through artists, through everything that we've found. Um, at least as far as I know. You know, if the artist did AI, I couldn't tell you, but um, I have an interesting uh, new thought on it because I've never really messed with it. I've never, you know, I see it happening. You know, as a gamer. There was a bunch of uh, bad talk and stuff going on when the new Call of Duty was doing stuff, and they used a bunch of AI and all this crap, and everybody's up in arms about it. Whatever. I'm not a fan. And then recently, one of my buddies shared me a song, and they're like, "Hey, check this out." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "This is really good. Like, what is this?" And he's like, "Oh, I just put the lyrics into AI, and the rest is, they did it." And I'm like, "This is all AI? Like, this is an amazing song. Like, are you kidding me?" And it just kind of made me mad. And I was like, "Well, okay, what am I doing here? This is dumb. That there's no point. Like, I guess I'm done. Like, you don't need to write music anymore. You can just pop some pop some stuff in, and there you go." And obviously, there's more to it than that. But obviously, I'm not quitting anytime soon because I love writing music. But it's definitely weird. It's definitely another moment of just things changing. Being in a band back, 6 and 0 thing, or when I was in high school and stuff. You know, before computers and then computers and then now, just everything keeps evolving the way it does. It's all crazy to look at as a whole, and I don't have opinions anymore. I'm just here trying to do my best. More power to everybody. On that same note, though, I do have another friend that is immobile. He uh, uh, he can't drum like he used to. He can't play like he used to. So in his case, yeah, hell yeah, AI is awesome. He can still do music and still be creative in a way that was stripped from him. And for stuff like that, I love it. It's amazing. That is an amazing concept of the right way, in my opinion. But whatever.
Yeah, that's for sure. So going on there too. I was just gonna say I've been outperformed by Skynet and the Terminator. So
Yeah, no, that's dude. When I heard that song, I was like, oh, okay, crap. That's real good. That's uh dangerous time.
that's for sure. So and trade carefully. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I know we talked about uncertainty earlier here. So let's hope it doesn't come to that. So we'll see what happens.
we'll see.
So the next question right here, then we'll jump into like some fun questions here. I guess what advice would you give to musicians who are perhaps going through? I know you talked about depression, that sort of stuff earlier. So I guess what advice would you give to people kind of struggling at this point?
Depression sucks. Uh, I I don't even know if I have advice because everybody's situation is different. Everything's all over the place. My advice is to have fun. Um, Doing this for as long as I have, I've seen so many bands, like ourselves there for a minute, trying to do it the right way, trying to do the right way, whatever that is, like trying to do everything for real. I've seen bands, change names, try to get on labels, try to get seen, try to get heard, try to do everything as big as they can, and it ends up killing them from inside. And I'm sure there are plenty of scenarios where they got great experience out of that, and it was for the best or whatever. But like for me personally, it was what's the point if it just ends? Like, what's the point if we're not doing it? Like, so my advice is always just to have fun. Our big theme with us is not growing up if it means giving up, and I had to write that song at a point in my life where I was tired of hearing to grow up. I was tired of being told to grow up, and I'm just like looking around, like people that had stability in their life, with careers, with jobs, with whatever, and those careers, those jobs being taken away at the drop of a hat, and it's like, well, or friends that went to college, friends with $100,000 in debt that aren't in the job that they went to school for, like all these different scenarios and things where why the hell should I grow up if that, like, what am, like, looking around seeing like that didn't work out, like that's not the right way. Everybody's situation is different, but it got old hearing to grow up, so I refuse to. uh I don't know how long we have on this earth. I'm here to have a good time. uh Have fun, be in a band with your friends, make music, be dumb, have a great time. Like that's my advice.
I just picture that too. Be like, I was at your tombstone right here, just not be a nice little epitaph. Be like, I had fun. So
Yeah, that's the goal. If you want like a more experience based advice, uh, if you screw up on stage, don't acknowledge it. Most people won't even know. You'll know because you're trying to be perfect, but they have no idea. Just pretend it didn't happen. Don't call attention to it. They have no idea. They're having a good time. And what was the other one I was gonna say?
except if the mic dies, then you
Oh,
can't
write
at
it
that point.
down. Oh yeah, dude. So many chord malfunctions and things all the time. That just happens. Whatever. Um, Funny, especially because over the course of our band, one of the songs that we've played for the longest time, I wrote. I still to this day screw other words up. We went into the studio, completely rearranged the song for the best. I love it. It came out great, and I still sing it the old original way sometimes, I hate it. I hate it so much, but it's fine. And yeah, I did remember the other thing. The other advice is write down every lyric you ever have, every riff you ever have. You never know when it'll come in handy for some. It'll fit someplace.
It's the beauty of having that notepad in your phone and iPad now. So yeah,
Yep. Until your phone tries to update the middle of the night and bricks itself, and then you lose years and years of writing. So pen and paper is also really good. Yeah, I lost years of material. That's fine. We're way
oh,
past that now, but it's okay. But yeah,
oh no,
that's a bad time. Bad time for sure.
I could definitely see the stress marks and
Hmm.
everything there too. So okay,
Hmm.
I was gonna say, hey, pen and paper, still the old school way, still.
Yeah, that one stung. That's all right. Of
All right, that's good to hear. And thanks for sharing that stuff there too.
course.
All right. So Joey, brief the questions here, pretty good. So here, let's jump to some fun ones. Ready?
Deal.
All right. So I'm curious if there's a particular dish in around Columbus I haven't heard about, but for the first one right here, what would you say is currently your favorite food
Mm, I mean, as far as Columbus is concerned, or just in general?
in general? And I'm just saying if there is a particular Columbus dish I haven't heard about. So
Mm, I'm sure one of the other guys could probably tell you something specific about Columbus. I mean, late night slice is always a great one. Um, I don't think it's Columbus based, but uh, bu- Buckaroo, Bubacoo's, burritos, something like that. I think it's in Dublin, but I'm sure there's other places. That one popped up kind of recently, and I fell in love with that place. Um, but as far as food goes, I am a child. Uh, Lasagna, coney dogs, uh, steak. Steak's good. It's not really a child thing, but grilled cheese. I am a classic connoisseur of easy food. Pizza. But lasagna is always for as long as I can remember been my favorite food.
still a kid at heart. So
Always
always. All right.
have to be.
All right. Good choices. Now for the next one right here, what would you say is your favorite movie? And if you have a favorite TV series you'd like to share, go ahead. Not sure if you're a movie geek.
Uh, I'll say I'll say Corey for sure is. I love movies. Not I wouldn't call myself a movie geek. I just love media. But Surf Ninjas, uh, the original Turtle movies, Ninja Turtle movies, Mortal Kombat, the original. Love the new one, but some stuff I would love to change. But that's okay. I can't wait for the sequel. Um, Hot Rod. When I talk about our band house back in the day, that movie was on a TV probably every day at some point for months. Hot Rod is an amazing movie. Um, and old Jackie Chan films. He's fantastic. Um, Rumble in the Bronx, amazing, amazing. And then a random movie that I I feel like I always have to mention because I didn't know anything about it, and I just started watching it one night, and I'm so glad I did. Absolutely fell in love with it. But Palm Springs with Andy Samberg. If you don't know what it is, don't look it up. Just watch it. It's incredible. It was such a now maybe it was the right place, right time for me, but I feel like that's an incredible movie. Um, and you said sitcom. Uh, I don't know. I watch a ton of anime.
All
So I
right.
guess if you want to do sitcom, then the One Piece live action is my pick for that. Or Letterkenny and Shorzy. There you go. Those are my picks.
I didn't hear about the latter, but I've stopped. I forget when I stopped watching One Piece. I think it was when they got to Crocodile at one point. I think that was even like way back when they were just initially starting.
The anime.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you do this. You got tons more to catch up on now. That's my favorite argument that people make. Like I can't watch One Piece; it's too long. It's like, well, what's your favorite thing? Don't you wish there was way more of it? Because that's One Piece, and I love it, and that's okay. It's okay. Everybody's different.
I mean, hey, you got your pirate theme and everything too, so maybe it could be
Always.
a
That's
lyric
why.
idea.
That's why I had to find a way to make pirate flags for us because of One Piece. That's, for sure the reason that happened.
That's for sure. And I don't know. I think it's getting to that point where like this is probably getting a little old. That's just me though, because I think after you do 1,000 chapters or 1,000 episodes, don't you think you would kind of
Nah,
get a little bored after a while?
nah, nah. It's incredible. So good, especially I mean, they just took a hiatus because of I think he had health issues or something. I forget. Um, but they'll be coming back here in a couple months with new episodes. But the last big chapter that they had, Wano, it was incredible. It was incredible. Some friends came over and we watched uh, Gear Five Luffy when it happened, and it was great. It's great to have something like that. Whether it's anime or movie or video game or whatever, like having something that just takes you out of things that just the world sucks. So enjoy stuff whenever you can.
Actually, the one I want to get back into is the Naruto one, both the
Naruto's great.
both the original and then the Shippuden one afterwards.
Shippuden is so awesome. I'm currently rewatching all of it. Shippuden is great. Shippuden. I feel like I'm saying it weird now. Um, I finally watched Boruto, and I hate it. Uh, I feel like it's like I don't even remember how many episodes long, but I feel like you can probably take like 10 episodes of it and be good. Like you should just watch that and then there you go. I because man, after Naruto and Shippuden being incredible, and then Boruto literally starting with just chaos, incredible, and then here's 100 episodes of nothing. Just all right, cool. I hate this. So anyway, I hope that gets good one day. It's supposed to because it came out with it being good. So Naruto's awesome. Dragon Ball grew up on that. Love anime.
Actually, was it doing a whole bunch of filler? Because I think that's what Naruto was kind of notorious for.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could call it that. I loved that I watched all of the Naruto and Shippuden filler. I feel like by the end of Shippuden, like it all had its place. Like I'm glad I watched it. But Boruto, no, I could cut so much of that out and be good and be fine. Like just it's just not the same. Yeah, I don't know if it's the animation, the storytelling, whatever you want to call it. Like just nah, nah, fam, no.
Hey, fair enough. All right, and great choices there. And for the next one right here, not sure if you're a drinker, but if you drink any alcohol, what would you say is your favorite, and what's your favorite non-alcoholic drink?
Jack Daniels. I drink whiskey. I drink Jack Daniels. Drummer drinks Jim Beam. We hate each other's, and then the guitarist doesn't drink much. But I love whiskey, bourbon, and I love fruity drinks. Both sides of the spectrum. Love having like cider boys. Cider boys are great. Can't drink Angry Orchard anymore. It's not sweet enough. So having a cider boy and a cup of Jack is my go-to. Um, and you said non-alcoholic. Um, so original Game Fuel Mountain Dew, which I believe is the same one they just came out. They just had come back this last October. Not the purple one, but the red one, red citrus cherry. So good. Big Mountain Dew fan. Um, and then Chaos Monster was my absolute favorite thing in the world. And then they changed it to chaotic with a new flavor or new formula, whatever, and I hate it. Absolutely hate it. It was the biggest letdown in the world. That was when I knew the world was garbage. I want chaos back. It's incredible. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that's quite a list. Actually, did you say Baja Blast when you talk about the Mountain Dew?
Baja Blast is not one of my favorites. I appreciate it for what it is, but top five Mountain Dew is Game Fuel. Uh, not in any order because I can't think straight right now. Voltage, um, Purple. What the crap was the purple name? Purple Thunder. Yeah, and the one they just had was amazing, and I can't remember the name of it either. I think it's only four, but whatever. I love Game Fuels every time they come out with them. I have to try every new flavor. Currently on the hunt for I don't remember what it's called now, but there's another new flavor I'm on the hunt for that I haven't found yet. Uh,
Like the seltzers, or I thought they did something with like seltzer or something.
the alcoholic Mountain Dews aren't bad. They're really not. We had to grab that as soon as it came out. They were better than I thought they were. Than I thought they were going to be, but not my favorite, but definitely not terrible. It's always fun for me to because of social media and stuff, when people bring a Mountain Dew to give me at a show or just message me when a new one comes out, like, "Hey, did you try it yet?" It's like that's the best feeling.
Like must have or something like that.
Exactly.
I know you mentioned about Angry Orchard. I would say the Green Apple. That was my personal fave.
That's good. If you
Yeah.
like sweet, I highly recommend Cider Boys.
Cider Boys.
But if you like cider and Angry Orchard's a good not too sweet cider, then you probably won't like Cider Boys.
All right, I'll have to try it out. But I'd say the original two, the regular Angry Orchard, the apple one, and then the green apple were the best ones.
Yeah.
All right, good
And
choice.
Angry Orchard and Fireball, Angry Balls.
Ooh, Angry Balls. That's a good one. All right.
That was the go-to for a minute, but then Fireball ran its course. We're good. We're good there. We're done.
All right, fair enough. All right. And for the last fun questions, here's how I'm going to word it. Uh, if you want to give any shouts to like any bands that are maybe a personal favorite that you like to listen to right now, feel free to share both from the mainstream world and like some from the independent community.
So mainstream, Alexis on Fire and City and Color, Dallas Green? Question mark. Anyway, incredible musician, incredible singer. Um, I'm sure I could list that names forever. Uh, if anything, Smash Mouth, Fushu Mang, first album, go listen to it. It's incredible. Don't worry about if all you can think of is All Star. It's not All Star. Um, and then Eve Six, of course. If you'd never, I feel like I put people onto that these days because they're not active as much. I think they just kind of started coming out with new stuff, but their old albums are incredible. Um, but as far as unknown bands, local bands, whatever you want to call them, our buddies the day after from Indianapolis, Indiana, Native World, same Indianapolis, Indiana. Um, Columbus around here, there's so many. I need to make like an actual list, but Noise Control, Dread Engine. Um, I'm blanking hard on everybody now. All of a sudden, I'm on the spot. Um, uh, Dead Cassette. They became good friends with us this past couple years, playing shows. The Castros, if you like acoustic, folky type stuff. Um, trying to think of there's freaking hundreds, and I am spacing so hard. Um, Bite, his new band. He was a guitarist for us for a while. Old friend. Um, tons more. I'm gonna kick myself for like obvious ones later, but that's fine. Um, yeah, just tons.
Yeah, but that's good though. It was like a top five right there too. So yeah,
Sure.
but all great choices there. Right. So Joey, we're
Safe
down
kept.
to what?
Safe kept. Our drummers, our old drummers, new band, our newer band. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I'll stop there. I'll just keep thinking of stuff as we go. It's fine.
But say don't do it like every once in a while there too. But all right. But nonetheless, here, Joey, we're down to one more question on the podcast right here. I guess before we jump into it, would you like to ask me anything or say any final words?
Uh, how'd you come across this?
Believe it or not, Facebook. I just saw it there. I figured, like, hey, it's like coin flip. It's 50-50. They either respond or they don't respond. So
Did you listen to anything first, or just saw this page and were like, "Yeah, let's talk to him"?
actually, it was like confetti. I did listen to confetti.
Nice. That's a good one.
That was a good one. So
Uh, Thank you.
there we go.
Yeah, it's a good introduction song too. I feel like it's a good middle ground of our wide range of weirdness and mainstreamness, if radio friendliness, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm a fan of that one. Um, and then what was I just gonna ask? My brain's good. Um, no, just thanks for reaching out. Thanks for talking to us. Thanks for caring about local music. Um, it's always a pleasure talking to people that get it, because not everybody gets it.
We hope people get it eventually. So,
Eventually.
all right. But if there's nothing else, here's how the last question goes. So,
Okay.
I guess given the stuff that's kind of happened in your life with the depression, being hit by COVID, and perhaps there's roadblocks along the way here too, for those people who are perhaps going through something similar, what sort of message of hope could you give to those people so they could try to move forward with their lives?
It's potentially easier said than done. But for me personally, depression's always been a thing, like here and there, especially like being an artist. Depending, trying to struggle with the idea of like, am I good enough? Should I keep going? Should I stop? Is this worth it? Does what I create matter? Um, does anybody care? Like, at the end of the day, one of my main reasons for creating, for continuing this band, for putting out music, is just that I want to leave something behind. Um, no matter what happens, no matter how long I have, no matter who all finds it or listens to it or whatever, like, I just want to leave something behind that I can be remembered for. Um, my memory is awful. I can't remember conversations. I can't remember most of the shows we've played over the years. Like, I feel bad, but I had to like eventually like let myself be okay with it. People come up to me and they're like, "Oh, I remember me at this show." I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't. I would love to. I would love to be reminded of what, but like, and it doesn't make it any less meaningful for me when it happened. But like, I can't remember things. So I love having a song finally get finished and come out, and then I can, it's just there. Like, I can't forget it, because I'll play it again. I'll remember what that is. You know, getting a little off topic there, but um, so I absolutely recommend just putting stuff out, even if you can't commit to it all the time. Just create whatever your art is. Just create it, do it. Life's way too boring without doing something that makes you happy. There's so much in the world that doesn't make you happy. Do something that makes you happy. And the other thing is, I fought for a long time with the idea of taking a pill to feel better. Um, taking finding a doctor, whatever, however you have to do it, whatever, finding, and I know I've had a lot of friends struggle and not find the right medication, and they have, bad experiences with, you know, different health concerns, different whatever, different stuff for everybody. You got to find what works for you. But I got lucky, and when I finally did have a family doctor that my wife made me go to, because I probably never would have. But when I finally did find a family doctor, and he put me on sertraline after our first child was born, because the hospital experience was a nightmare and super depression after that. So he was like, "Well, try this," and I was like, "Okay," and a world of difference. Whether it was just depression or, for me, overthinking, that stupid little pill made me stop questioning things so much. Made me just be able to exist and be okay, and live in the moment and be happy with what I have and what's around me, instead of constantly worrying and thinking and just, oh, it sucks. So yeah, I was really against it for a long time for no reason. Like, looking back on it, it seems stupid, but I was just like, I don't need that. I don't want that. I'm stronger than that. Whatever thoughts go through people's head with that, like, just, I mean, don't get crazy, but try some stuff. It helped me a lot, and
That's
creating
good.
stuff helps too.
Yeah, that too. So let's say we get crazy in a good way.
Yeah,
Whatever's that show, we just let loose in a good way.
of course.
In a good way. So, all right. But first off, good to see you're doing well, mate. And sorry, I kind of went through some of those experiences. So,
Hey, got it, had to get here, right?
yep. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, as they would say. So,
Exactly.
and spoke like a true prodigy. So, hey,
We'll see.
I guess so. Well, I hope so. So, all right. So, Joey, we reached my podcast right here. We talked a little over an hour and 30 some minutes. But I guess before we close out, we'd like to give any other shout outs. Any final words for the audience?
Not without torturing my brain. I appreciate everybody that listens to us. If you like rock, punk, alternative, please check us out. Thank you, Brian, for reaching out, for talking to us, for caring. Go out and create. Don't grow up.
Don't grow up. We'd be the Peter Pan still. So
That's right. Never grow up.
yeah. Actually, it's the one time we thank Facebook for being able to make this happen. So
There's been some good stuff come from it. It's okay. I will let it be a good thing still.
at least this time. So
That's right.
and just for the audience sake, can you just list what social media and streaming platforms you guys are on so they can check out your music and interact?
Everything you can find bands on, we should be on. Facebook, Instagram are the main ones that I help run. We have a TikTok. We'll hopefully put more content on there as we go. Our YouTube will always be updated with newest videos and things when we get them. If you need to find our music, iTunes, Pandora, Apple Music, anything, everything, you should be able to find us. You can probably still find us on MySpace, but I think they took most of the content down. So yeah,
It's still alive. So yeah,
I think it's still there.
probably. But oh well. All right. I don't know about TikTok. It's a little strange, but hey, if it still
TikTok,
works, it's
yeah,
good.
it's a whole thing. It's whatever, but YouTube will always be there. Hopefully.
I think it will. So that's I like TikTok. So that's at least an American company. We'll say that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But to close out like this, everyone, my guest today was Joey Lawson, hailing from the lovely state of Ohio. I think about the Hawthorne Heights song, Ohio is for lovers. So in that case. So nonetheless, he's part of his own little punk rock group, To Kill a Monster, hailing from Columbus. So make sure you go hit him on all socials, all stream platforms and everything here too. Let's go help our brothers out, as well as whatever venues. I guess if they're playing any venues this year, mum's the word on that. We'll see what happens. But good luck this year, Joey. So you stay safe, because you know it's a crazy messed up world out there. Rock on. And name me a pose. Stay tuned, y'all.